Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for a very frustrating subreddit. I am excited and simultaneously just very terrified. But still, you know the drill. Before we get started, go get hydrated, grab some water or some tea or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll look at some memes and get frustrated together. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. Pants were invented for men, not women. It is impossible for a woman to wear pants, jeans, yoga pants, dress pants, leggings, dungarees, etc. without sexualizing her body, since they highlight her legs, curves, and rear end. Women who want to be modest should not own pants at all. That's a lot of words for no one will fuck me. That's not only a lot of words for no one will fuck me, that's a lot of words for I don't think of women as people. I think of them as sex objects, but it's their responsibility to hide their bodies so I don't sexualize them, which is so much bullshit. My god. The Bidens ordered the same dish at a restaurant. Who does that? Okay, this is a huge no-no with my dinner crew. At one restaurant, there's a rush to call dibs on prime rib because no one else is allowed to order it. Y'all care about the stupidest shit. What do I care if someone else orders the same dish as me? If I want to have a certain dish because I really enjoy it, and this other person that I'm eating dinner with really enjoys the same dish, why wouldn't they just say, oh yeah, no, I'll have the same thing? Why? Just why? I don't get it. Okay, white people can't be trans. Transgenderism is inherently a creation of black and brown culture. Transitioning genders as a non-person of color is a toxic form of colonization and erasure. I don't know how to tell you this, but white people are just incredibly good at erasing history. And erasing the parts of their history that they don't like. So yes, we're very aware that a lot of cultures and a lot of places throughout time have had trans people and didn't conform to the two-gender binary that is very common now. We're aware of that. But y'all are aware that white people were just really good at killing off the people they didn't like throughout time that didn't adhere to the gender binary. So this is just silly. I don't get this image, by the way. I mean, look at it. What even? What is going on in this image? I don't know. But anyways. Something about flavored lemonade. I'm 13 weeks pregnant. The recommended daily max of caffeine during pregnancy is 200 milligram. Thankfully, when the cashier asked if I wanted full or half, it threw me off and I saw it was charged and looked it up in time, but I could have easily missed it and consumed an unsafe amount of caffeine. That would have been a yikes. Yeah, unsafe. My wife drank like 10 coffees a day when she was pregnant. Don't overreact. Yeah, everyone might react differently to having that much caffeine. And just because listen. If someone really doesn't react to caffeine at all, it's still gonna like be passed on to the baby. So still don't do it. Why would you do it? Like, I'm glad I can't get pregnant because I love my coffee, and it would be really sad if I can't drink it. But listen, if you're pregnant, you're just gonna have to make some sacrifices. You know, because that's kind of what being a parent is. If you can't fillet a fish, field dress a deer, or skin a coyote, you need to shave that beard off. Because we live in a society where if you're a man, you apparently need to be able to do these things. Because otherwise you're not manly enough for your beard or something. Makes sense, I guess. Like, not at all, but okay. Oh, poor baby. She dumped chemicals onto her hair and she was traumatized by it melting off. Try going through cancer and have it fall out in fists full right to your scalp until you're totally bald. Yeah, we get it. Only cancer patients can suffer. Yeah, this is the stupid thing. Like, of course, having cancer is just objectively worse than just losing your hair because you used cheap bleach or your body didn't react to the bleach well, so your hair just fell out. Of course, having cancer is worse. But does that mean we get to come for it and be like, you know what? It's fine, it doesn't matter because at least you don't have cancer. Like, who are you to, like, dismiss someone's struggle just because it's not the worst that could have happened? That makes no sense. That makes no sense, my guy. Okay, if you can't drive a car with manual transmission, you don't deserve a license. Again, what the hell? I mean, in Germany at least, it's kind of made the way that if you do your license on manual, you're allowed to drive anything. If you do your license on an automatic car, because you can technically do that, you're only allowed to drive automatic cars afterwards. But everything else is the same. And I kind of have more faith in someone who doesn't say shit like this when it comes to their driving, because if you say shit like this, you're gonna drive really unsafely, and I don't want to be in a car with you or meet you on the street, you know, because I don't trust your driving or judgment or anything, really. Natural bodies are for poor females. I said what I said. My god. My god. I mean, I get it. Like, razors and everything and makeup is expensive. So I can kind of see where you're coming from. Is it still a dumb statement? Yes, because if you don't feel like shaving, or you like your body the way it is, how dramatic, you love or you're comfortable in your body the way it is without feeling the need to do stuff to it every day, that's apparently poor people behavior now. Right. Listen. What are you doing? I don't get it. Okay, stop referring to healthcare workers as heroes. The real heroes are those who have served the US military. Any idiot can study and push a button, but a real frontline hero serves their country. God bless America. Really, thank our military, police, and firemen. Well, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and come for people who serve in the army or who are, well, police maybe, but firefighters, like, I'm not gonna come for that, because yeah, obviously it takes bravery and obviously we need those people. But being like, okay, this group of people serves that country, so that means no other group of people or no other profession is worth thanking, is a really dumb approach. It's a really dumb approach because you can't compare the two. Like, you need both of these professions. You can't just say, oh, I'm not gonna thank, or I'm just gonna dismiss everything this one group does because I'm gonna fail to see that they actually do something very vital and important. What? Alright. Okay, sure. Okay, I see far too many people use the word yummy to describe food. Yummy is for a place like Chuck E. Cheese or a burger joint, not for a nice restaurant. Again, gatekeeping the language people use. Because you're like, no, that word is not sophisticated enough for the nice restaurant I'm at, and I feel offended. You sound like a poor person. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? As if it matters. Let people enjoy their food and describe the way they enjoy their food. What is wrong with you? My god. Girls using this emoji versus guys using this emoji. I mean, this is probably by far the least frustrating one we're gonna see in this video, because it's just a silly little making fun of emojis thing. Because I can picture the kind of guys that look like this donkey when you try to imagine them pulling this face, but still, gatekeeping who's allowed to use which emoji is still incredibly silly, you know? If you know, you know. Let's confuse these kids. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was really slow, because the last time I had to use a phone like this to type out any kind of word was like 10 or so years ago, because no one uses phones like these anymore, really. But that doesn't mean we can't read it and don't know you're trying to insult us, because saying you're a cunt is very adult of you. That's very grown up of you. If you can't afford flying first class with your girl, then don't go on holiday with her. Flying economy with your girl is gay. We both know once she passes next to the first class aisle, she's gonna be eyeballing any male she finds there, wishing she was with him. Get back to work. again, being with your girlfriend or going on vacation with your girlfriend is gay, apparently. Because you don't make enough money to fly first class, or you would rather spend your money on other things than flying first class. That is apparently very gay. Because doing anything with your girlfriend as a guy is gay, apparently. Because gay is the worst insult out there, according to these people. And this is very dumb. Listen, why are you out here being like, no, if you can't afford first class, you need to get back to work and not treat yourself to something nice? What is this? What is this? Literally. Okay, men be fine as hell, and then boom, rainbow light up keyboard and 2 monitors. Okay. I don't even have anything to say. Like, if you don't want to date someone who has a rainbow keyboard and 2 monitors, then just don't. But I still fail to see the issue with these things, you know? Like, as long as it's not in the same room I'm trying to sleep, or like he turns it off at night so it's dark when I try to sleep, I literally couldn't care less, you know? Okay, look, no nose rings, no tattoos, no ripped jeans, no pink hair, just grace and elegance. A time when men were men and women were women, and we liked it that way. What do you want to bet this person wasn't even like remotely around for this? Like, from when is this picture? The 50s? But listen, I still very much fail to see how individuality is a bad thing. Because you just know that if any of these women were like, you know what, I want to cut my hair off, or I want to get tattoos or a nose ring, or wear different clothes than what is expected of me, they would get so much shit and be shamed either into doing it or just like completely abandoned and be like, no, you're not part of society anymore because you're cutting your hair off or something. What? Y'all realize that people would have always embraced their individuality more if it was like safe and like acceptable for them to do it. Sure, but if you want to go back to the 50s, dude, go build a time machine and fuck off, literally. Okay, I love women, but the constant barrage of female brain farts does disrupt the natural philosophical nature of male discussion, i.e. sports wars, ethics, etc. Women are spiritual angels, but they're not intellectually inclined. They should be seen, but not heard in certain social situations. In fact, their aesthetic can inspire greater clarity, romance, and thought. However, their clanky brain has quite the opposite effect. The exception to the rule proves the rule. The woman's brain is like a second-hand car. It doesn't work as well, but it does have charm. And there's nothing more redemptive than the holiness of a woman's charm. Now, once again, I don't even know where to start. Because A, generalizing 50% of the population down to, oh, y'all just don't think very well, is perhaps one of the dumbest things I've heard all day, because I don't even know what to say, because I just feel like it makes sense. And what these people are saying makes absolutely no sense, because yeah, and also I'd like to see y'all's philosophical debate, because y'all are just gonna be him like, oh my god, look at the rack on that woman over there that just walked in. How's that a philosophical debate? My god. Okay, nobody makes a barbecue like Virginia. I'm in heaven right now. This sweetie ain't even got ice in it. Pray for this man. Again, let people enjoy their food. Let people enjoy their food. I mean, barbecue is probably very different from state to state. So, he's still right by saying nobody makes barbecue like in Virginia. They have a point, but still, let him enjoy his food. Why do you care? If you prefer a sweetie with ice in it, then go order it with ice. Or if they bring it without ice, can you be just like, oh, can you add ice, please? Because it ain't that deep, man. Would you date an atheist? No way in hell for me. Okay, being non-religious is fine, but being atheist just means that you can't truly see the beauty that moves through this world, and there's nothing I could really have to talk about with someone like that. You don't believe in a god, so so you don't see beauty in the world. How did you come to this conclusion? Because it makes no sense. Oh great, we have another one of these. In my opinion, it is never acceptable to order the same dish as anyone else at your table in a restaurant. Journalist says that you should try new things, and going out to eat is the perfect time to experiment. What do you think? I mean, fair, if you want to experiment, or if you're trying to like get new experiences, you know, ordering a new dish that you haven't tried before when you're going to a restaurant is like a fun little idea, right? Like that's a fun way to get like an easy new experience, really. But what does it have to do with not ordering the same as anyone else at your table? Because if you're like, you know, you have the same taste with someone you're going out to eat, and they order something that you've never had before, and you're just like, okay, I've never had that, but that actually sounds really good because I trust your taste because you usually like the same foods as me, so I'm gonna order the same thing. Wouldn't that be a smart idea than randomly ordering something and then ending up hating it completely? I mean, you might end up with that sometimes, you know, that's fine, but why would you, what is this of, what is the logic behind not being allowed to order the same food as anyone else? That makes no sense, my guy. You don't know pain until you're staring at yourself in the mirror with tears streaming down your face and you're begging yourself just to hold on, be strong. That is pain. Again, gatekeeping pain. I mean, gatekeeping anything really makes no sense to me, if you haven't noticed that by now, but gatekeeping pain, I mean, no one's gonna argue that this isn't pain if you're just literally crying your soul out and you're just begging yourself to hold it together and not like, I don't know, but how are you gonna be like, no, this is the only instance in which you feel pain? I kind of wish that was true, you know, but it isn't. And I thought that just makes sense because, well, obviously pain comes in a lot of shapes and sizes, which, like it or don't like it, because no one likes pain, I guess, in that way. Millennials are racking up more chronic health conditions compared to other generations, a study. Millennials are seeking more professional help for health issues than ever. Okay, cool. Just because someone didn't go to the doctor and just randomly died, does that mean they didn't have a certain condition, technically? Or that they were healthy? No. I mean, the more you go to a doctor, if you have certain issues, instead of just manning up and ignoring anything your body is trying to tell you, because that's what happens a lot of the time when you have pain. That is your body's way of telling you, okay, something is wrong. But if you just man up and like push through that, doesn't actually mean you're healthy. It just means you maybe should have gone to the doctor, you know? No, but caring about your own birthday is a little silly. Yes, birthdays themselves are narcissistic. They mark the anniversary of someone else doing all the work to bring you into the world, and you're acting like you should be the center of attention and shout with praise and gifts and special treatment? No. Parents throwing parties for the little kids? That's fine. Grown adults saying, be nice to me, I was pushed into the world 30 years ago today, is cringy. Okay, people aren't allowed to complain about their pain because someone has it worse because at least they don't have cancer or something. And then simultaneously saying, no, but you're not allowed to feel joy by celebrating a birthday or feel joy for anything because you're not a real fan or whatever the fuck these people say. It's so dumb. You're not allowed to do anything because then they're gonna go off on it. Or alternatively, do whatever the fuck you please and stop caring what other people do with their lives. You know, if you don't care about your birthday, fine, don't celebrate it. But some people like joy, actually. Okay, if you live here, you're not an environmentalist. I see. Because where you live clearly indicates your values. And you're only allowed to be an environmentalist and care about nature or the environment if you live in a rural area. But you better not be driving a car either. You better be going everywhere on foot or on bike. Because otherwise, where does it end? Literally, just where? No, fuck it. I look great. You look like a teenage male and you aren't on HIT, so you're fake trans. Again, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? And why do you feel the immediate need? Because she was just like, you know what, I look good. Like, I like my hair, it's really pretty. I feel good about myself. And you just went, no, not on my watch. No, you're not allowed to feel good because I don't think you look good. In and of itself, already frustrating. And then also to be like, okay, you're not on HRT, so you're not really trans. That is not what makes you trans. That's what makes you someone trans who's medically transitioning, but that doesn't make you trans. What are you doing? The girl who says she likes to travel starter pack. Insert inspirational quote on Instagram. Flocks to tourist traps. The red ones are the only places she travels, and the yellow ones maybe if she's feeling adventurous. These kind of pants apparently, whatever. Shopping and beaches. Because it's only travel if you go literally anywhere in the world, and it's not travel if you go to popular tourist attractions, but are literally there to attract tourists. And tourists are people who travel, but you're not allowed to say you like to travel if you only go to those places. Again, make it make sense. Just make it make sense, please. Dad, I'm an alcoholic. No, son, I've seen your room. Empty cans of White Claw. White Claw, Bubble Buzz, 0-calorie, freaking hard seltzer. Did your mom cheat on me with Richard Simmons? Go drink 151 through a straw and chase it with mouthwash before you call yourself an alcoholic to me, you bundle of millennial vape puffing bitch-assness. Again, calling yourself, or like gatekeeping, calling yourself an alcoholic, or being an alcoholic. Again, this is maybe one of the dumbest things I've heard all day, because gatekeeping addiction is just, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Because I know the stereotypes of alcoholics, but literally, what? Why? Instead of being like, okay, you clearly have an issue and we're gonna get you help for this issue because you don't know how to deal with someone else's addiction because you weren't trained to do it, might be the correct response, really. Because either they're just doing it for attention, because then they still have issues and they still probably need someone's help to figure it out. And if you're going to react like this, I'm going to say the problem is you. But still, like, going off on your child that it isn't alcoholism, that they're just whiny little bitches, is kind of weird, you know? Just a teensy bit. May I ask why you chose K for your daughter's middle name? That's also my daughter's middle name. Yeah, that's my mom's middle name. Ah, yeah, lol. I was just wondering, because nobody started naming their daughter's middle name K until after Kenzie was born. I don't even know you or your daughter. Thumbs up. Literally, what? You saw some person that you don't even really know in person, apparently. Like, y'all don't know each other. You just randomly found them on Facebook, or you're just like, I don't know, you went to the same school and that's why you follow each other, but you don't actually know each other. And you saw their birth announcement or like whatever, and we're like, oh my god, what? That child has the same middle name as my child, so I'm just gonna randomly text them. If you don't even know each other. Okay. If your boyfriend hasn't united the German people under one flag, you have a girlfriend. Well, there you go. I guess all of y'all who have boyfriends watching this video have a girlfriend now, because probably none of them did. And I had to include this one, because all the other ones were just incredibly frustrating, and this one is just so silly and taking the piss out of it that I had to include it. Okay, your childhood was not complete unless you've been chased by a rooster. At 41,260 likes. How many of y'all were actually chased by roosters? What is going on? What is going on? I was never chased by roosters. Does that mean I don't have a childhood? Or is that what means I don't have a childhood? And like, if a lot of other shit happened but you weren't chased by a rooster, does that mean your childhood isn't complete just because you weren't chased by a rooster? I'm very confused by this one. And honestly, this is also one of the better posts because it's also just like silly and making fun of it. But how many people are being chased by roosters out here? My god. Okay, girls twerk, women headbang. Okay. It's giving very... No, only the music I listen to is real music. And y'all like vibe to your music differently by twerking versus headbanging, and that's bad because I say it is. Again, why do you care? Why do you care? If someone wants to twerk along to their music, go off. Literally, what do I care? If you want to headbang, what do I care? What do I care? Why do you care? My god. Choose your heroes wisely. Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old, said, "How dare you?" in front of cameras and world press, and was immediately immortalized as a global celebrity. Jadav Malaipayang, at the age of 16, started planting trees on a sandbar of the Brahmaputra River and created a 1,360-acre forest reserve all by himself. He spent 36 years of his life without seeking the limelight, a prize, or salary. His forest is now the habitat of 90 to 100 elephants, reported in 2008, 3 to 5 Royal Bengal tigers, 1 horned rhino, and other species. Forget the globe, not even his own countrymen know him. Okay, again, this one is just silly, because one person fighting for the environment and wants to make change is good, and the other isn't. Like, no one's gonna stand here, like, I know what you're trying to do, because you want to make people who argue against this seem like they're coming for this person at the bottom. Listen, no one's coming for that. Honestly, that's amazing. I'm impressed, and honestly, that's just cool and incredibly selfless that he did that. But he obviously didn't do it for attention. Greta Thunberg isn't doing what she does because she's like, okay, I want everyone to like me and I want everyone to look at me and know my name. That's not why she's doing what she's doing. She does what she does because she genuinely cares about making changes and getting people to care about the environment. So you trying to make her seem like some villain because she gets publicity for it, which is literally the only like actual way if you want to make like big changes. Because I'm sorry, I don't want to dismiss this forest or like creating like spaces for animals as like sanctuaries. Like, no one's gonna dismiss that, but still, that's a tiny solution for a tiny speck of world. Whereas if you want to make like broad changes to a lot of countries, you're gonna have to do with publicity. Do you understand that? Because I feel like you don't. I feel like you don't. I feel like you just want to be mad. And now I'm mad at it. So at least you're not mad alone, but we're mad at different things, you know? So anyways, I cannot take more of these people. I feel like I say that a lot at the end of my videos recently, but I can't take any more of these people. Literally, I'm sorry, but I've had it. What is this? Why? Why are these people so frustrating? Oh my god. Oh my god. Listen. I hope y'all at least finish your drink while watching this. Because if not, you're probably gonna be frustrated and dehydrated, which isn't a good combo. So at least drink something. And as a general reminder, if you haven't eaten anything in a while, maybe go get yourself a snack or make yourself a meal, whatever you feel like and whatever you have the energy to do. And yeah, I'm gonna go, and I will see you in 3 days with my next video.